Hello, you are joining us on Good Morning Geelong. Great to have your company today, and it's a very exciting week and has been a big week in the city with, of course, the new council being elected. We've got 4 new councillors and we've got 8 who stood the previous term as well. One of those is Stretch Quintell, and of course he is now our longest standing councillor. He joins Rollo. Here they are.
Thank you very much to Megan Holbrook as we turn our attention to the city of Greater Goodness, the city of Greater Geelong. And yes, like the rest of Victoria, we've just recently been through our council elections, and joining me on the couch this morning is the man who now stands as the longest serving councillor on the city of Greater Geelong. Very warm welcome to Councillor Stretch Quintell.
Oh, thank you very much. Nice to be here and nice to be re-elected, I can tell you.
Well, it's a nice Friday morning, nice and early on Good Morning Geelong. A good way to start. But tell me, Stretch, a little bit of a reflection back to last weekend, particularly on the Sunday when you realised that you'd crossed the line and got there. What was the feeling like?
Relief, I guess, and some disappointment because my brother was also running, and in one respect, I was more thinking about him and hoping he would get up, and less about how I might go. I was uncertain as to how I might go because Christine Cousins, I thought, ran a very good campaign, and I thought she would have a good level of support from the community, the Labor Party, the union side of the fence, and I thought I'd have a fairly tough go at it. But as it turned out, I won comfortably, but my brother didn't, so I was disappointed in that way.
Well, I'm sure there's one man who was very pleased because he had both his sons running for council, and I do say a very good morning to my old work colleague Mario Quintell. The family would certainly be pleased with the outcome.
Yes, the family's very happy. We were proud of how Eddie performed. He got down to the second last preferences, and David Saunderson beat him by 50 votes. And had Eddie still been in it with the 3-horse race, I think he would have had a very good chance. It would have been a similar scenario almost to what happened in Corio with Lou Brazier, where the last person, Vinko Leblanovich, also a good forward man.
Yes, big Vinko.
Yes, he was preferencing Eddie, and I felt that the preferences would have flowed fairly strongly to Eddie. But that's not to be, that's history, and David's back and Eddie misses out this time. But Eddie won't be lost to the community. He's fairly community-minded, and he'll be back, I'm sure, in some other role in the community.
Stretch, just let's split your longest-serving councillorship now into 2 categories. Reflections on what has happened in the past, some of the important things to you that you've been involved in and have been successful with.
The big thing, thinking back to when I first got on in 1998, Geelong was really struggling in those days. We were still caught up in the grips of the pyramid situation. Ford Motor Company had gone through big restructures. The population of Geelong had actually stagnated and was actually going backwards. So the challenges were how to get Geelong moving, and so the waterfront and the CBD rejuvenation was the key to it. And then from then on, a lot of private expenditure and investment came into town, and Geelong really got moving. So now Geelong, I think, is moving, whereas back in 98 when I first got on, it was really struggling.
And now with another 4-year term ahead of you, and the changes in the slight changes in the boundaries of your ward, what do you see as challenges and visions that you would like to look at?
It's actually a bookend of challenges for me because my ward's moved further east. So I now take in Cardinia Park, so that's a great thing for me. I'm very excited by that. I'm always a passionate Geelong supporter, but there's a lot of projects there. There's St Mary's that needs a redevelopment of their club rooms. The netball facility down there really needs to be rebuilt into a regional facility, and of course the pool. I'm looking at how to make that year-round available for use, and I've got a number of ideas there. But then on the west side, we've got the Finesford redevelopment. There's going to be tens of thousands of people moving into that area, and with the ring road now being built and opening up onto the Hamilton Highway in my ward, that's the other challenge on the west side. So plenty of work to be done.
And for our viewers up there in the northern suburb of Geelong called Melbourne, The area that we're talking about is where the old Geelong Cement Works were down the bottom of the deviation. You know,
That's right.
Where the big chimneys were that came down.
Exactly. Yeah, the chimneys have gone. The silos are still there. So Rob Multoney's got plans to develop that into apartments, and you know, I think we'll see some of that coming into reality in the next 4 years.
The next 4 years are certainly going to be very, well, I suppose, tough and years as far as, particularly with the current economic situation is concerned. It's not something we're going to see fixed overnight.
No.
There are people that, when the budget was released earlier this year, that said maybe we've spent too much. But I would say in hindsight, Geelong and the current council group should be able to work together as a team and hold the City of Greater Geelong in a very, very good position.
Yeah, look, we've got a very ambitious capital works program. Each of the 12 wards are going to be well represented by capital investment, particularly the sporting clubs and reserves. They're going to have a lot of money spent on them. The federal government has given us another 2.6 million. I'm hoping that we're going to be able to split that equally between the various councillors. In my case, the 200,000. I'd like to see some of that spent on the King Lloyd Reserve, which is the home of the Murgy Bullock Cricket Club. I'd like to give some to St Mary's. I'd also like to give a good swag of it to Newtown. So that all creates employment and helps to build the heart and soul of the community. But the other thing I'm looking for is getting support to freeze rates for 12 months on a more macro scale.
So from well, the corner phrase, we could see the Geelong City of Greater Geelong Council, led by Stretch Contelge, with that particular thought, becoming the Reserve Bank of Australia and freezing some interest.
Yeah.
Remember that day down in Johnson Park after the end of 2007? I think it was Cameron Ling declared we won't no more rates for a year.
Well, there you go. Yeah, see what happens when you win a premiership. Anything's possible.
And of course, let's with the Cardinia Park area, the precinct, a magnificent centre of our city, skilled stadium, a masterpiece, currently under some further redevelopment. There is a great amount of area to be able to increase opportunities of community involvement.
Yes, look, it's the heart and soul of Geelong sport. So, as you said, it's the centrepiece. The stadium's being done up at the moment, the main stadium, but there's plenty of work that needs to be done with the other user groups: netball, St Mary's and their football, the cricket, and of course the swimming. We've got a magnificent international standard swimming pool there, but it's only open for part of the year. We've got to find a way to have that used year round, and I've got a number of ideas. The Paran Aquatic Centre in Melbourne, it's not an enclosed pool, but it's open every single day. They just open it in the morning and in the evening and have it covered over with a blanket during the day, and I think that's a very easy way to achieve year-round use at the pool.
Our sincere thanks, and we wish him well to, yes, the City of Greater Geelong's now longest-serving councillor, Councillor Stretch Contelge, for his time this morning on Good Morning Geelong. Thanks very much, Stretch. We wish you well for yet another term.
Thank you very much.
Back to you, Megan, as we continue Good Morning Geelong.
Thanks for that, guys, and of course all the best to you, Stretch, for your next term. We'll be back just after this break.